Hello everybody, Dev here, the Rogue Deck Chronicles, and today I want to show you probably the most hyped up deck coming out of Pitch Black. That honestly, I would consider this the new anti-meta deck that will become the meta deck in the overall format that's going into the World Championships, and that is Hide and Sneak. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing that we at the Rogue Deck Chronicles are very high on this archetype. Please check out the top 10 video to see our opinions on it. But this archetype is designed to counter the top meta decks that rely on damage counter manipulation. So the Hide and Sneak ability says prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks and abilities done to this Pokemon. So the Sinistcha line and Banette line both have that ability. So that means we have 16 cards that are protected from Dragapult, Munkidori, Dusknoir, Ninetales, etc, etc, etc. So what do these Pokemon do outside of just protecting themselves from the threats of damage counter manipulation and just general attacks? Well, they power up other Pokemon. So the two in this deck we're going to focus on are the Dhelmise with the Vengeful Anchor attack for single colorless energy or single psychic energy. It is 30, and if you have 4 of those Hide and Sneak ability Pokemon in the discard pile, it does 140 more, it does 170. 170 is very important because that can one-shot a Meowth EX. Think about it. For a single psychic energy, for 4 Pokemon in the discard pile, we can boss a unsuspecting Meowth turn 1. Very easy. So Dhelmise is very, very powerful. And then the Hide and Sneakers also power up this Spiritomb for single psychic energy, spiritual, and if you have 13 of the Pokemon of Hide and Sneak in the discard pile, choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon and quadruple the number of damage counters on each of them. This is definitely a end game sweeping type of move, where you're either taking the last prizes or you're eliminating the threats that have survived the attacks that the Dhelmise and the other attackers have really put on there. So this is very hard to pull off, but as you see in our list, we run the full 16, so getting 13 out of 16 is a lot easier toward the end of the game. Now, the Hide and Sneak Pokemon definitely have attacks worth using, and they both go on to the stage 1. So in the Banette here, stage 1 evolves from Shuppet. Remember, both Shuppet and Banette have the Hide and Sneak ability. For a single psychic energy, Puppet Pool does 80 base damage, which knocks out all those basic base of evolution Pokemon like the Froakies. We're talking the Cyndaquils, the Dreepies, that kind of stuff. And after you get the 80 damage, you get to search your deck for any card, put it in your hand. This is a great early game attack for turn 2, where you're knocking out something, you're getting a resource into your hand that you were needing for the next turn, and you're just kind of moving forward. And if this Banette gets knocked out, great. You just have 2 more Hide and Sneakers get put in your discard pile, powering up the other attacks. And the other Hide and Sneaker stage 1 is the Sinistcha. It has the attack for a colorless energy, Masha Spin. If you have 6 or more Pokemon with the Hide and Sneak ability in your discard pile, place 4 damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon. So, obviously, in the mirror, this blocks each other, which is an interesting piece. But it also does a lot of pressure on your opponent. 6 Pokemon to turn 2 is not hard to get into that discard pile. 4 damage counters is enough to knock out all the baby Pokemon. So if you see a Badoo, you can put that on there. Now, this also has the ability of doing damage counters and not damage, which means this is your answer to Bastiodon. Bastiodon has been getting a lot of popularity because of its ability and making sure that you can't do straight damage. And as you're seeing today, all our Pokemon are low energy attackers. So Bastiodon can cause problems with our Dhelmise strategy. But the Sinistcha gets around that because it is placing of damage counters. So we have an answer for pretty much everything. To round out the list, we do run one Shaymin to protect our bench from damage in situations that we kind of need it. And then we're also running a Lillie's Clefairy, so our Dhelmise can one-shot Dragon Ball. So it kind of answers and fills its own gaps with these two Pokemon to kind of bring it together. So it's a really good, well thought out list here. The reason why I like this list, and kind of at first I wasn't going to go all 16, but all 16 makes sense. This has a full range of capabilities. We can go super aggro in the beginning with Dhelmise if we want to. We can play a very strong mid game with Dhelmise being the beginning of it, the Sinistcha being the middle, and potentially just a cleanup because you don't get to a proper end game. And if you really play a long, drawn-out match, that Spiritomb can finish the game for you. So it has really good beginning, middle, end of a really well-structured battle, where your opponent can't just avoid the fact putting your Hide Sneakers into discard pile, because if they do that, you're just messing them up. So, in terms of the supporter lines, it's, as you see here, very, very unique. We're running 4 Explorer Guidance. Makes sense. We want to put as many resources into discard as possible. So that is helping us. We are running a 4 Gwynn. Again, Gwynn and Hide Sneak were designed to be together. It's like the perfect pair. Peanut butter and jelly, right? So we're discarding 2 cards, drawing up to 3 for every non-rule box. So as long as we discard basically anything but the Lillie's Clefairy, we're drawing 6 cards when we're discarding up to the 2. The support draw, for lack of better terms, we're running 2 Lillie. Again, to see as many cards as possible in terms of the Gwyn doesn't make sense. We are running 1 Surfer as our switch and draw. The Dhelmise does have a very hefty entry cost of 3. So there'll be turns we don't want Dhelmise in the active, we want something else. Surfer allows us to get around that for a turn. And then we are finishing this up with 2 Boss's Orders, that way we can gust up what we want to either clean up or set up attacks. In terms of Pokemon search, we're running a 4 Poké Pad, as you see, only Lillie Clefairy is the only thing with Rollbox, so this picks up anything in the deck. And then we're running 4 Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is one of the most synergistic item cards you can get for this deck. Not only are you going to put stuff in the discard pile to power up our attacks, it also allows us to get Pokemon out of the deck, so it does 2 different purposes for us just in a single move. So it's a really good item here for us. We do run 2 Rescue Stretchers for resource management and resource retrieval. We're talking about basic energy. We're talking about maybe a piece of an evolution line that we kind of need to streamline, or even recovering a Dhelmise straight up. We are running 4 Prism Towers. Makes sense. Again, another card that has us discard cards from our hand to put into the discard pile. And then for the energy, we are running 4 Telepathic Psychic Energy. We want to lead off with Dhelmise as much as possible, or we want to lead off with the Shuppet. So Telepathic Psychic allows us to set up board state. Basic Psychic Energy, every one of our attackers can utilize this Basic Psychic Energy to a full effectiveness. And then our ace spec is Legacy Energy. Not only are we a single prize attacking deck, this Legacy Energy means that they have to knock us out 7 times. Most decks cannot withstand that long of a game. We love that, so this is a perfect ace spec for us for the deck. So that being said, guys, this deck list will be in the description of videos like always. But before we go into the matches on the ladders, please do me a favor. Check to see if you have been subscribed to the channel. YouTube tells me more than half of the individuals who watch our channel are not subscribed. So all you have to do is click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. It does us a great service. We put a lot of time and energy into the research and to the reporting of these videos and these decks, and we really want to just feel, honestly, I just feel appreciated. We do a lot of work on this, and it's great to see when people appreciate and like what we do. And then, if you can, just like the video as well. It helps spread the message, spread our different ideas out. And before we go in, I want to address the elephant in the room. Why is a rogue deck based channel covering arguably the second best deck in the format? It's because rogue, again, isn't just not meta, it's anti-meta as well. And this deck is anti-meta. It is shoehorning itself into the meta conversation because it counters the meta so well. So We're going to play a couple matches on the ladder, and you're going to see how it works against some of the emerging archetypes, and just seeing how flexible it can be. So that's, with that all being said, guys, let's jump onto the ladder to see how we do. Alright, we're going first this game, so I'm just going to put a Shuppet down and see what we get here. What is mulliganing? Oh, this is a Mega Slowbro deck? Or Slowking, one of the two, which would be still kind of cool. Let's get the card. Oh, Explorer Guidance, turn 2. Oh, that's going to be a nice one. They got to smooch them, so if they can set up a bench, they're going to go. So I'm honestly just going to attach pass to see what happens. Because next turn we can Prism Tower to 2 Shuppets. We can Explore Guidance to see what else we get. And kind of just build from there. I didn't want to just go too aggressive with Prism Tower. I honestly just didn't want to give them Prism Tower turn 1. I'd rather just be a little slower here, and they're just going to accelerate. Okay. So us being single prize, 2 energy to Slowpoke. This definitely makes me feel like this is a Mega Slowbro deck, which is kind of cool, to be quite honest with you. So let's put the Prism Tower in. We're gonna Gwynn to the Shuppets. See what we get out of this. Banette, 80 KO plus getting what we want is not an awful thing. I'm going to put down a Poltchageist. I think powering up a potential Sinistcha in a couple turns is definitely the play. Because we always Explore Guidance next turn to get some pieces here. So do that. Let's take an early KO with the Puppet Pool. We want to start your deck. Honestly, what do we want from the deck here? I think next turn I want to Explore Guidance. So I'm going to grab the Legacy Energy for the Dhelmise. Because we kind of have the support we want right now. And yeah, we're account for... Our count is 2, which is fine. Alright, let's read what the Slowbro does. During an opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage to an attack, place 12 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Okay. So we can bypass that by using Sinistcha. Because he's doing 180 flat, so he's knocking out everything we have, which is fine. And 330 means that we do have to 2-shot him, but if we can just start spreading, I think this is going to be a game where might be a game where we have to go through the long Spiritomb play with the Sinistcha. Perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine with me. Because he just turned on a Dhelmise right now, and Dhelmise will take damage back. So yeah, we're not quite ready for the Sinistcha just yet. So we'll get a second. Go there. Get rid of that battle cage. And we'll do exactly what we want to do. Explore Guidance. Did not give us what I was hoping for. We're just gonna take the non-rule box Pokemon here. Because we have Gwynn for next turn. What do we draw? Okay, we draw that. Okay. And we'll do the 170. We'll just kind of put a poke onto this Mega Slowbro. And we're at what, 4? 4. We're at 5 for the sneakers. 7 right here. He just has a whole bunch of megas on play, but he only has 1 with any real energy on it. The 3 for 1 here, because I'm including here because of Legacy Energy, the 3 for 1 here is not a bad trade-off. We'll go down to 2 prizes without really burning any boss orders. We have plenty of those. The Gwynn next turn will be able to turn on a lot more draw with some Prism Towers just in case he bumps ours. Telepathic, we have to do more because we have 1 more Dhelmise potentially. Deluxe Bomb? What does that do? This Pokemon. Put damage counters. Okay. I think I still would rather that. Now, is it damaged by an attack? Okay. I think we're gonna do this. I think we're just gonna put the Spiritomb down saying, look what we got, buddy. Alright, turns on Sinistcha. We get a Sinistcha. I think I want to put down another one just in case. If we rescue Stretcher, we can Stretcher an energy. We're at 7 out of the 13 needed. Yeah, I think we just take the damage here. Because we're getting 3. He's getting 1. I think, yeah, we just put a Poltchageist up. I'm not against that, because all this turn for him is going to be setting up. And I think we could get the win if... Unless he... I think we still can get the win, actually. Because he can't get rid of both of the Smoochums. So I think... The fact that he powered up a Slowbro out of nowhere. Congrats and kudos. But we have 2 different ways of getting the Sinistchas, unless they somehow can disrupt this turn. But I don't think they can take out both this turn. They can take out one, but not both. Are we going to see the judge? No. Okay. So I think we won because we're going to promote this Sinistcha up. Do the damage onto the Smoochums. think I'm gonna explore his guidance just in case. Take that. And that. You know what? If I misplay, I misplay, but I believe this is Gwynn. Yep, okay. I was like, am I overthinking it? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So, getting the 2 Pokemon there, and we had that Spiritomb there just to kind of mess with people if we had a couple more turns of that. So, fun little, utilizing all the different real aspects of the hide sneakers. So, let's jump into another match. Alright, we're going second, but leading the Spiritomb. This is the least ideal lead we could have here, but our opponent is mulliganing, and it looks like we're facing against some form of Rampardos EX deck. So we have to be very, very sure when we do KOs, because Rampardos does have a crushing hammer effect. So we just have to make sure we're doing what we need to do. We have a Gwynn with 2 sneakers, we have the Spiritomb. So, we just have to make sure we're doing the right sequencing. So we're going to try our best here to go off and running. The issue is this turn we do have to waste on getting the Spiritomb out of the active, which is a little unfortunate. Okay, so Bastion. Okay, so we have another problem is the fact that we have, well, the problem's this. We're going to have to really rely on the Sinistcha this matchup because of that Bastion. So, let's get the Prism Power out. Let's put 2 sneakers. Okay. I messed up, but that's okay. Those are supposed to be Gwynn targets. We're not punished. We're good. No energy this turn. That's a little unfortunate. But we have 4 in the discard for Sinistcha next turn. So we're just going to end turn now. And do they have Rare Candy? Are they just going to slow evolve? What's their play here? Because we can evolve here. We have a Lillie to get a fresh set of 8. They're petuing for probably Rare Candy. I just have to assume they have the EX in hand. Nope. Okay. So they're either have... Okay. So one of the 4... Okay. Okay. Getting rid of the E-Hammer. Oh, we got lucky there. Okay. Cool. Let's... That's fine. I'm really just trying to get this stuff up and running. That's Lillie for 8 fresh. Fantastic. Okay. I think I know more or less what I want to do. I don't want to put any of those. I want to kind of bait an attack there. So since we put damage counters, we bypass the Bastiodon if they get a Bastiodon in play. And we can start spreading and spreading and spreading. They're going to see a lot of cards now, yeah. Okay. So we're going to really focus on the Sinistcha. Try to get some Spiritomb stuff happening. Spiritomb's going to be this Spiritomb is going to be the play that really ends the game or knocks out big threats. Okay. If they get a Rampardos EX, I have to assume they have the candy in hand. Okay. Or they're setting up for next turn. They have the candy in hand, I was right. Now, how are they going to get this Lunaton out of the active? Because what we could also do is get a boss and stick this Bastiodon in the active and really just mess with them. So there's our attack for... Let's do that. I want to see 8 fresh cards. I want to try to get that boss play for next turn. Not quite, but not awful either. So the Matcha Spin will start doing damage everywhere. And they have a no-card hand. So we have turns here to try to just stick this. So we have 8 with 8 sneakers in the bin. We need 13, so we need to find 5 more. So there's 1. Poké Pad, another one, 2. Okay. Okay. Oh, they're trying to slow us down. That's a relatively small problem. They're gonna try to basically energy drain us to death. Luckily enough, we've only really burned through 2 energy on board, which is good. Okay, so we have some... We need that boss. I really think we need that boss, like, now. Do we have the boss in deck? We have 1 boss in deck, which means a whole bunch of them are prized. Which is fine. So we are going to start trying to just dump cards and feed. Okay, that modifier does nothing for us in terms of what it does against us, so I'm not as worried. Alright, I'm just going to pull cards out now. So I just don't see us getting to the Spiritombs quickly. Might as well start digging. We got the boss. We got the boss, guys. Grab the Legacy just for protection here. So now you Matcha Spin. And we have to withstand one more turn here. If he energies... Is it just to the active? Okay, so his ability won't really matter if he's going to start KOing this with an energy. But if he starts using his ability, it means we're definitely not seeing energies coming into the hand, which is great. And they're flipping tails. Oh my gosh. We're getting lucky. But we also have the boss, which will definitely slow down the situation next turn. So once we put this Bastiodon up, we'll have 2 free turns to put onto the Rampardos here. We have the Night Stretcher. How many of... Okay. We're going to be close. But I think we'll be fine, especially if we put this up in the active and try to recover a Dhelmise. For like... Yeah. Because once that gets gone, we'll be fine. But he's really digging. Because how many we're at in terms of our sneakers here? We're at 11, 13. Oh, we're on 13. Spiritomb's online now. Okay, Spiritomb is online. So... we are going to start... really start putting pressure in, right? 2, 5... Sorry, 7, 10... We're at 12. We're one shot. If we knocks out the Sinistcha, we're good. So, actually, I don't want to do anything this turn. We'll Matcha Spin. Okay. Oh, I didn't even realize we got 3 prizes that turn. That's awesome. I was just so focused on setting up for that Creditos KO by doing the quadruple here. The Banette in hand. That does what we need to do. If the Spiritomb... So if we quadruple that, that's a KO. Quadruple that, that's a KO. We just need to hope that we don't get hand disrupted this turn. That's really what it is. We need to hope that there's no hand disruption. And we would be able to get Spiritomb for the win. Alright, that is not a judge. We know they don't have unfair stance because they have the Hero's Cape. So we just need to make sure there's no special red card coming in. And then I think we got the win. Because we'll KO everything. And they flipped all the tails on that ability, which is very fortunate for us. But the way we kind of been playing with our energy, I think we would have been able to withstand it. Because we did kind of aggressively discard an energy for some other pieces, so we're fine in that nature. But it could have been very bad. Like, I don't want to not acknowledge that truth. But this is 480, yeah, we quadruple that. It's quadruple, right? Yeah, quadruple. Quadruple, we win. Okay, cool. I don't know if our opponent sees that or honestly cares. Now, before I do anything, I want to do the count. So, 7, 10, 14. Yeah, we're good there. So let's just get a couple things. But we're going to go to the spiritual end here. We are going to quadruple both of those for 3 more prizes and take the game. There we go. 3 prizes, 2 3-prize turns with hide and sneak. So we'll take that against a very, very good Rampardos EX deck. Just got a little unfortunate. But as you see, hide and sneak can do a whole bunch of different things. It can be very aggressive when it needs to be. It can be very slow, methodical when it needs to be. And it honestly has a little bit of everything, and it's very well positioned for all the top 10 meta decks as well. So I enjoyed playing it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the matches we picked out today for you guys. If you made it this far into the video, do me a favor. Just please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love just seeing off-wall rogue deck, anti-meta deck, which is definitely what this deck is. And just love seeing different types of decks being played, not always variants of Dragapult, but we want to explore the card pool to the best of our abilities. So with that being said, guys, thank you again for making this far into the video, and as always, have fun playing those sneaky decks.